There are no roadblocks scheduled today on either Highway 70 or 54 South. For the latest roadblock information, call 575-678-1178. Tonight's forecast is calling for partly cloudy skies, 20% chance of rain. In Alamogordo, expect an overnight low of 70, Cloudcroft a low of 55. Tomorrow we're looking at mostly sunny skies, mostly cloudy tomorrow night, 20% chance of rain. In Alamogordo tomorrow, high of 92, low of 70, Cloudcroft tomorrow, high of 74, overnight low of 54.
This is the Roundup on ESPN Alamogordo 103.7. Going from the Tularosa Basin and beyond, this is your local connection to the world of sports. From high school to college and to the pros, we cover the latest news and the biggest stories. Don't forget, this is your show. Change the topic anytime. Call us at 437-1230. The Roundup starts right now.
ESPN Alamogordo 103.7. Welcome into the show. 437-1230 if you'd like to call into the program. Around 2:30, we'll have Coach A.J. Cisco here with us to talk about the upcoming football season. We've already chatted with him and some of the players earlier in the summer and I think the last week or last day of the first week of practice. Is that right? I don't know. I know we had him at some point. All the days are blending together at this point. So we'll have him coming up and chat about who we should expect to see in particular spots this year and look forward to what we expect to see this season. So should be fun. And that'll be a little bit later on in the show. Let's start off with boys soccer, though. Impressive win last night over Hobbs, 4-2, the final score there, as they pick up their first win of the season. Julian Torres had two really nice. Actually, all the goals were really good, I felt like, from the Tigers. One was from about 35, 40 yards out by Torres. He had a nice run on another goal. Junior Barbosa had a really nice run that he sent for a cross, and Daniel Ferranchalmi finished off. And then off a corner set piece, Lucas Birch sent in a corner to Herbe Bustamante, and Herbe was able to finish that off. So I thought Hobbs fought back pretty well in the second half. Tigers were up 3-0 at half. They scored a goal early in the second half. And then Hobbs really pushed the tempo after that. Got a couple of goals and had one go off the post, and very easily could have been close to a tie game late in that match, but the Tigers were able to hold on. So Hobbs, I think, a pretty good team. Just didn't have their best at times, I think, defensively against Alamogordo. I know that their side wasn't particularly happy with the officiating, but again, that's probably going to happen throughout the season, just kind of the way that it is. I didn't necessarily feel. I mean, sometimes you can look at a game and say that the officiating had an impact. Officiating always has an impact, whether it led to Alamogordo winning or not. That's definitely not a road I like going down. And listen, I don't ever go down that road when Alamogordo gets beaten. Most coaches will not look at it that way and feel like there were other things they could have done better in order to not lose. So for the Tigers, though, got to feel pretty good about it. Good fan support last night. Thought it was fun at the Soccerplex. The upper fields probably in the best condition I've seen it in a long time. Certainly still needs to get a little more work on it, but it was, in my mind, more than playable. Wasn't that big of an issue. I'm sure for the guys playing out there, I'm just saying sitting from my standpoint, you didn't see guys, the conditions in terms of being able to run and make plays, it didn't have that huge of an impact for them. And the lower field, they're still putting in the sod. It looks really good in the places that have filled in. And hopefully that'll be able to take and here 3 weeks, maybe a month, closer to October, when they'll be able to play on that field. But the top field's going to be plenty good for a while. I can tell you from my standpoint, I loved watching the game from the top fields because I'm usually sitting on the coaches and players side, and the sun is right in our eyes. And in this case, it's at our back. It's much nicer I'm jealous of the fans and not having to look into the sun, but it should be more of
This is a flash flood warning for the following county: Otero, New Mexico. The National Weather Service in El Paso has issued a flash flood warning for northern Otero County in south-central New Mexico until 4 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time. At 2:02 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time, Doppler radar indicated heavy rain across the Soldier Canyon burn area. Flash flooding will continue across the area. Flood waters are likely to carry a thick flow of mud, ash, rock, and other loose debris. Some locations that will continue to experience flooding include Mescalero and Soldier Canyon. Some drainage basins impacted include Soldier Canyon and North Fourth Tulare Sacre. Heavy rainfall will cause extensive flash flooding of creeks, streams, ditches, and roads in and downstream of the Soldier Canyon burn area, including Mescalero. Water, mud, and debris may flow across roads, including U South, Highway 70. Roads and driveways may be washed away in places. If you encounter flood waters, climb to safety. Move away from recently burned areas. Life-threatening flooding of creeks, roads, and normally dry arroyos is likely. The heavy rains will likely trigger rock slides, mudslides, and debris flows in steep terrain, especially in and around these areas.
Okay, we're back. Yes, please be careful if you're headed up Highway 70 towards Mescalero and Ruidoso. They've had some heavy rains up there, and as I mentioned, where they had the fire back in May or June. So if you're headed that direction, please be careful in that area, and hopefully nothing too serious with that flash flooding. So I have no idea what I was talking about. I think I was talking about the field over at the Soccerplex. It certainly feels like they're doing a good job over there just from the looks of it, and that's a lot of hard work to get all that stuff done. But got some water down, and it's definitely in better condition, and hopefully it's just the beginning of getting that going and getting it where they want it to be continuously. That'll be a big deal for them. So, but yeah, as for the game, nice opening win against the 6A program. They get Los Lunas, or I should say 5A, same classification. Now that's going to throw me for a loop so much. So nice win against a fellow 5A program, and we'll see with Los Lunas and Chaparral this week. This is a tough opening week, man. Los Lunas is usually pretty solid. Chaparral, we know, is always very good. Next week, it doesn't get a whole lot easier. It's Carlsbad on the road, and then the Los Alamos tournament coming up next Friday and Saturday. So overall, I gotta feel pretty good about the boys' win last night, and they should feel pretty solid. I'm sure that there will be a discussion of the second half and maybe Hobbs getting back into the game the way that they did, but first game of the season, that's not to be unexpected. And, from Hobbs' standpoint as well, first game of the season for them, you kind of get back on your heels quickly. The Tigers scored a couple of goals in the first half of the first half, and so sometimes that's a little bit more difficult to bounce back from in your first game where you're trying to get reacclimated to everything. So look forward to Thursday night. Tomorrow night we'll be out there again. Alamogordo versus Los Lunas. 6 o'clock start time tomorrow, by the way. JV at 4 o'clock, so a little bit earlier than what it was last night. And then Saturday is a 1 p.m. kickoff over at the Soccerplex. Okay. Girls soccer, tough one on the road. They lose 6-0 to Hobbs, and will try to bounce back on Saturday. So they get a little bit of a break, get a chance to regroup, and certainly against a lesser opponent in Chaparral on Saturday. Hobbs girls soccer is always very, very good. I mean, usually one of the top teams in the state of New Mexico. I'm not really knowing where they fit into the mix this year, but I'm sure that they are one of the top teams again. So, not what you want to open up the season if you're Lady Tiger Soccer, but you can also just I guess, relax a little bit. First game, really good team, and try and get things straightened out coming up on Saturday. And they got a tough week next week. Carlsbad Tuesday, Lovington Thursday, and then the Las Cruces tournament on Friday and Saturday. So they're playing, 5 games in 4 days. Really short span there. So it'll definitely be a challenge for the ladies. Conditioning, to me, not an issue with that group. They'll be fine. But they're going to see some good teams here early on in the season. Not a big surprise for them. But, listen, they've played tough non-district schedules the last few years. It's been the district that I think has really not been up to their standards. And this year, probably the opposite. However, I think, we'll get a feeling of where Alamo sits against the Cruces schools coming up next week on the girls' side. So, otherwise, nothing else last night, but we do have, stuff coming up over the next couple of days. Mentioned Alamogordo boys soccer tomorrow. Alamogordo volleyball at home against Ruidoso, 6:30 start time there as they get started with their stuff. And freshmen and JV will scrimmage coming up tomorrow for Alamogordo volleyball. Tularosa volleyball takes on Cobre tomorrow. Let me find my up-to-date schedule. That'll be on the road, 6:30 for
This is a flash flood warning for the following county: Otero, New Mexico. The National Weather Service in El Paso has issued a flash flood warning for northern Otero County in south central New Mexico until 3:45 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time. At 2:10 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time, Doppler radar indicated heavy rain across the warned area. Up to 1 inch of rain has already fallen. Flash flooding is expected to begin shortly. Some locations that may experience flooding include Silver Lake and Dry Canyon. Additional rainfall amounts of 1 inch or more is possible in the warned area. Move to higher ground now. Act quickly to protect your life. Flooding is occurring or is imminent. It is important to know where you are relative to streams, rivers, or creeks which can become killers in heavy rains. Campers and hikers should avoid streams or creeks.
All right, back again. Little interruptions today, but want to make sure that information gets out there, everybody. Again, if you didn't catch all of that flash flood warning in the Soldier Canyon area near Mescalero where the fire was earlier this year. So just heads up on that. And remember, you can always listen to any of our stations, 103.7, 92.7, 1230. If there's serious weather in the area, National Weather Service warnings, of course, you'll get those here. So, okay. Stop, start. Again, we're talking with Coach AJ Cisco coming up for you guys at 2:30. So stick with us. That'll be on the show, and you can stay tuned for that. What else do we have? We got Mescalero volleyball Thursday as well. Yeah, they take on Gateway Christian. And I think that's it. No Cloudcroft volleyball this week. They do play, they're scheduled to play Tularosa next week. So we'll again doing our best to try to make sure we got everything up to date for you guys on our Facebook, on Twitter. Try to get all the scores in for y'all, let you know what's going on with the various programs. So we don't want you to miss out on anything that's taking place. Looks like Alamogordo C team scrimmaging Artesia this afternoon at 4 p.m. So we got that going on. And doesn't look like anything else from JV football or any of the middle school football teams. Mountain View. Okay, Mountain View scrimmaging Artesia. They're 8th graders today. And I must be over at Mountain View Middle School because it's listed at 4 p.m. same time. And it doesn't look like anything else. Okay. We're good. Just wanted to check through some of the other schedules, see if there wasn't anything else worth mentioning today, or tomorrow, I should say. But today, a couple of scrimmages for sub-varsity football, freshmen, 8th grade. Best luck to them against Artesia. And we'll see what volleyball looks like for Alamogordo tomorrow. Boys soccer. Do my best to try to float between the two, or at least get you updates on the two for sure. And keep you all up to speed with everything that's going on with high school sports. It's been a busy week. Feels like already. Probably more from my end, just trying to get stuff ready for Friday and a lot of other stuff that's going on here. So I think just transitioning back into sports. It was, like I said, it was nice to be back out at the Soccerplex yesterday. It was felt good and cool to see all the fans and the guys out there, and also kind of cool they got to wear their gold jerseys last night, their black and gold jerseys for last night's home game. We were sitting there, we were all debating at the scores table. It's like, no, it's still the white jerseys are the home jerseys. And so obviously Alamo got in contact with the Hobbs folks and asked them if they would wear their home jerseys here, and Alamogordo wear their road jerseys for the opener. I still think the dark jerseys should be the home team, but it's an interesting. That's one of those jersey debates that are out there, because some hockey switched from being your home jersey was your light colored jersey to the road jersey, or to the dark jersey being the home jersey. Football does dark colored for the home jersey, but almost everybody else, you're wearing white at home. Basketball, baseball and softball are kind of weird because usually there's not necessarily a home and away. A lot of times you're wearing the same top. Maybe you got gray pants or white pants differently for the bottoms, but there's not a whole lot of home and away jersey stuff for softball or baseball. And like I said, soccer's, you're wearing your white jersey at home, which I don't know, that really translates to, if you watch professional soccer or anything, it's not exactly the same deal. You don't really have a home and away. You've got your main kit and then like an alternate to choose from. So, yeah. Again, me getting to jersey talk. I can't help myself sometimes. Just I go down that road and there's no coming back. I do like the black jerseys. I will say this is just a personal preference. Don't anybody yell at me. The numbers on the boys' jerseys, I wish were a little bit easier to read. But the nice thing is with soccer and being so close to the field, you can usually tell who it is if you follow the team pretty regularly. I will say for people that don't follow the team or like the opposing coaches or whatever it is, yeah, it's a bit challenging there to try and pick out who's who. So it's all good. For the home fans, you know who the kids are. Doesn't make that big of a difference to you guys, and that's really, at the end of the day, it's really all that matters. People like me, people like the coaches, we can muddle through. It's not that big of a deal. So, you know me though, I like simple, man. Just give me simple numbers, simple schemes. I'm down for that. But it's not as if some of the newer designs aren't kind of cool as well. All right, let's go ahead and keep going here for a little bit. We'll switch from high school sports stuff going on nationally. Apparently, we're going to get the verdict on. I shouldn't use the word on verdict, but find out what Urban Meyer's punishment may be today. The Ohio State University board has been in executive session. It's like a it's like a Meyer watch, Urban watch at Ohio State today. There are people at the back of the building. Oh, that's Urban Meyer's car. Oh, that was his wife going in the back through the loading dock. Oh, they brought in some type of special lectern to. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that's going on today. And I was listening to Will Kane before I came on the air, and I think it's hard to imagine him getting fired. I don't really know if there's enough out there for him to get fired. And I mean, here's the deal. At the end of the day, this is going to be a he said, she said kind of story. It appears there's not enough evidence on one side or the other to, have definitive proof. I mean, we saw some of the texts that were exchanged between. The one thing we know for sure is that Urban Meyer lied to the media. Now, the things we haven't seen behind closed doors is, did he lie to the Ohio State University? That seems a little less clear on whether he did or not. Because it sounds like folks at Ohio State knew what was going on, and they were trying to help handle it as well. Now, Meyer lying to the public, Ohio State's going to have to decide how much that really bothers them, or if there are people within Ohio State University that weren't a part of the inner circle and didn't know what was going on, how much that's going to affect their opinion and their choice on whether they want him to stay or not. So, I don't know. I think there's a good chance that, there's not even a suspension, that, his time away from the team over the last, month or so could be it. And Ohio State may take a lot of criticism for it, but at the end of the day, will they care? Will anybody care in 6 weeks if Ohio State's undefeated and is the number one team in the country? Now, I know the Buckeyes fans won't care because they just don't. Any of the evidence or any of the discussions going on, they're trying to find every little thing that's wrong with it. And there may have been some aspects to Brett McMurphy's reporting that don't pass all tests. But there's no doubt that this was handled poorly by Urban Meyer, by people that were close to him, both at Florida and at Ohio State University. Whatever you want to say about it, whether you believe it or not, I think, bottom line, things were not done correctly. And, yeah, I'm not sure if it necessarily means that he should be fired, but there's a lot of this is a disturbing nature. And again, it's who do you believe? Do you believe her? Do you believe him? And that probably lies on where you think this should go going forward. That's the tough part of it, is when you see the two sides of the story, Zach Smith and his ex-wife, if it comes off to you that Meyer was basically trying to cover up a serial abuser, then you're definitely going to feel like the guy should be fired. And I don't know if it goes that far. There's a lot of things that you can put all the evidence together sometimes, and it can make it look a little bit worse than it is. But I guess I just question, for somebody that it doesn't seem to be too critical to his staff, why he continued to bring this guy back when clearly he was aware of, yes, personal issues, but things that I'm sure they're going to come back to him and affect him. When do you decide to cut somebody loose? But it's a tough one to decide. Not sure I necessarily. I know I don't have the right answer to that, and there's information I'm sure that Ohio State University has that would probably change my perspective. But again, don't have it, so hard to really sit down there and make a real choice on that. But can't imagine Ohio State firing him. Maybe they suspend him for a game or two. That's about all I can imagine. So we'll see. Other headlines today: Manu Ginobili seriously pondering retirement. Not a huge shocker. 16 seasons in the NBA. He's 41 years old, and he's had a really nice career. So has definitely done things the right way, for sure. I know I didn't really care for him when I was on the NBA. So anyway, let's take a commercial break. We'll come back. Again, we'll talk with Coach A.J. Cisco coming up Next, here on ESPN Alamogordo 103.7.
This is Brandon with Desert Sun. I'm not sure if you all know this, but Desert Sun Auto Group consists of 5 dealerships across the great state of New Mexico. This means we have 5 new car departments with over 500 vehicles to choose from and over 200 quality pre-owned vehicles. Majority of these vehicles, when bought from us, are backed with Desert Sun's lifetime powertrain protection. Stop by either Desert Sun Motors or Desert Sun Toyota today and let us help you find your new ride. See our full inventory at DesertSunMotors.com.
Is your back-to-school list getting a little longer than you expected? OFCU's Visa Platinum Credit Card eases the unexpected. OFCU's Visa Platinum Credit Card gives you an interest-free grace period of at least 25 days on new retail purchases when the balance is paid in full each month. No fees for cash advances at OFCU's ATMs and branches. Back to school with OFCU is as easy as ABC. All loans subject to credit approval. Other restrictions may apply. Federally insured by NCUA. OFCU, 3 branches in Otero County. Call 434-8500.
Score big with great savings at Justin's Motor Company. Hustle on down to one of Justin's 2 locations. Cars, trucks, SUVs, Jeeps, you name it, Justin's has it. Makes and models to fit any budget and the best customer service in town. One-stop online shopping makes your next car buying experience a breeze. Check out the full inventory, meet the staff, even apply online. All at JustinsMotorCompany.com. 2 locations conveniently located on the Holloman Highway or 489-5820, Justin's Motor Company.
Lose weight, be happier, get smarter, improve your memory, all by doing one thing. Sleep well. Tax time in 2018 is your chance to catch up on great sleep. Use your hard-earned tax refund to buy yourself the one thing that can make the biggest difference in your health, a new mattress to get better sleep. Sleep Well is here to help you find the right mattress for your needs. Back problems? Too heavy snoring? Sleep Well can help you. Sleep hot? Your partner toss and turn? No problem. Sleep Well can help. Corner of First and White Sands. Sleep Well. When you sleep well, you live well.
Slow internet again? Signal constantly dropping? Don't take it out on your computer. Instead, call Tularosa Basin Telephone Company for internet stress relief. They have the speed and the reliability to make your internet dreams come true. If you want fast, they have faster. If you want service you can rely on, they are the most reliable. And customer service? It's all about you. Call Tularosa Basin Telephone Company to get connected. 585-2700.
If your tires hold more excuses than air, that's a big oh no. If bad alignment has your car swerving to the left like the world's slowest U-turn, that's also a big oh no. If you get a flat at night in any town ending in Vania, that's a very big oh no. And how most scary movies start. Maybe stay in your car. Thankfully, for all your car's big oh no's, there's always a big oh yes. Now through August 25th, save $100 instantly on sets of 4 Big O brand tires with paid installation. Plus, get up to a $50 mail-in rebate on purchases of $500 or more when using your Big O credit card. Big O Tires, the team you trust. Valid at participating locations on in-stock sets of 4 Big O brand tires. Up to 10% shop fee based on non-discounted retail price not to exceed $35. Disposal fees extra where permitted. Not valid with other offers. See store for pricing. Mail-in rebate subject to credit approval. Not valid with other credit rebate offers. See rebate form for terms and conditions.
It's kickoff time for Tiger Football 2018. The Black and Gold face the Valencia Jaguars to open the season. Friday at 6:45 p.m., kickoff at 7, only on your Tiger Sports Station, ESPN Alamogordo 103.7. The NFL begins on ESPN Alamogordo September 9th. It's a doubleheader, starting with the 49ers at the Vikings, followed by the Dallas Cowboys at the Carolina Panthers. Your home for the NFL is ESPN Alamogordo 103.7.
The will to win is not nearly as important as the will to prepare to win. We live for preparation, and we prepare to be the best that we can be. Every time we step on the field, we know we did everything we could to be prepared for this game.
Caught! He's got a touchdown!
Be prepared to catch all the action right here on the Aggie Sports Network, powered by Learfield.
ESPN Alamogordo 103.7. Welcome back into the show. 437 1230. And Coach AJ Cisco should be along shortly. He's got lots of meetings and various things, so we try to 2:30 is usually when we pick a particular time, but sometimes it'll bounce around a little bit. So that's what you're tuned in for. He'll be coming. You haven't missed anything yet. And we'll jump into talking some Tiger football for you guys here in just a little while. All right, back to some of the headlines. Had to rush a quick commercial break there. Manu Ginobili, considering retirement, met with Coach Greg Popovich to discuss his future. And apparently he's been working out at the Spurs facility a lot. Got 1 year left on his contract, worth $2.5 million. I'm sure money not too big of an issue. But Ginobili played over 1,000 regular season and 218 playoff games with the Spurs. It's top 5 all-time in games, points, assists, and steals. And averaged about 9 points a game last year as a guy coming off the bench. So, he was as key as anybody during their runs. You talk about Duncan and Parker. It's Duncan, Parker, and Ginobili. I mean, those are the guys to really discuss. And there's certainly some other key players that made a difference for them. But, I think without any one of those three, it wouldn't have been as successful for them. I don't think he was there for the first championship back when David Robinson was still there, but the ones in the 2000s and, of course, the 2014 one as well. So he and, of course, he also caught a bat with his bare hands in the arena as well. So, I mean, there's that too. Tiger Woods talking with reporters today. He's at the Northern Trust Open. And essentially talked about how he thought at the 2017 Masters that he was done. And certainly, I think, had to feel that way. So, thank you. Certainly had to feel that way for him. And we'll chat a little bit more about that here in just a second, because our guest of honor is here today. Coach, how are you? Coach AJ
good, Charles.
Cisco.
How are you, man?
Not too bad. It's finally game week.
It's game week. It took long enough. I mean, 8 months or whatever it is, but it's finally here.
Yeah, and I'm sure this group probably more than any other just really digging at and wanting to get out there and play again and get that victory.
They do. We're doing something different this week. We had a team vote yesterday. We're not going to put a Tiger decal on our helmets till we win a game.
Okay.
So they're excited for Friday. They've been at it since January, ready to go, and you can kind of see the growth from our black and gold scrimmage to our scrimmage last week, the growth of we've shown from even the end of last year to now. It's leaps and bounds. We're excited, and we're ready to make a 4-hour trip.
How can you explain it from somebody looking from the outside in terms of trying to understand about how much better prepared this group is for week one now compared to last year, week one? I mean, is there a way to describe that for somebody maybe isn't on the coaching staff or isn't on the team?
Yeah, if you think about it, I got hired and I was here on campus in April of 2017, and 4 months later we were playing a game. So I've been on campus, and that was installing offense, defense, special teams, and not only just schemes, but installing our toughness and discipline, our character that we want from our kids. So now we've had a year and a half of doing it, and our kids are bought in. We've got a great group of young men, and the number keeps growing of how many kids we keep coming out for football. I think we're 66 now.
That's great.
Sophomore up. So the kids are bought in, and I look back on last year, and our kids look back on last year, and the resiliency and toughness they got from it is going to carry over to this year.
Yeah. She also mentioned freshman has a scrimmage today.
It's tomorrow.
Oh, is it tomorrow?
Tomorrow at 4 o'clock in the Tiger Stadium.
Okay, sorry. I guess I read the schedule wrong there. Tomorrow that scrimmage is, and 8th graders, that's tomorrow as well?
That is tomorrow at Mountain View.
Okay. Today is the 22nd. Okay.
So you're getting excited for Friday the 24th. You're already trying to go a day ahead.
I know.
Don't do that, man, because I'm still trying to get stuff done. I'm ready. I'm glad it's the 22nd. I got all this other stuff going on game week, so don't rush me.
I know, and you got the radio guy texting you, can I have a numerical roster? Things like that.
And I was on my way, and I forgot. Yeah. I was like, oh, I'm going back. Go get the roster for Charles.
Well, I appreciate that, and I'm sure the folks listening will definitely appreciate that. Hey, that kid wearing 15, it's good to know the names.
Yeah, he's got a name, not just a number. Hey, there's 15. There we go.
All right, well, let's talk about the. When we chatted a couple weeks ago, things were obviously still getting worked together. Do you guys know where you're going at quarterback yet, or is that still?
Yeah, we had 5 kids this summer and off season. 2 sophomores, 2 juniors, and a senior, and we made an open competition. We're always going to do what's best for our kids and as a team. And Braden's going to start on Friday night.
Okay.
JP did a great job. He's probably going to get some reps on Friday playing quarterback as well. In certain situations, what we do, and when they're not playing quarterback, they're doing something else. I mean, we've got to have our good kids on the field, our best athletes. So JP's going to start at defensive end, at left defensive end on Friday, and he might be our best defensive lineman right now. So we're excited for that. We want to make sure our good kids are on the field and give us the best opportunity to win.
Yeah, Braden, played I think wide receiver and running back last year. Who's going to be your running backs this season?
We've got 3 of them right now. One's going to be down this week due to an injury from 2 weeks ago. So right now, Elias Gonzalez is a kid coming in. We're excited for him. He's a junior. He broke one last week in a scrimmage, and he's got some breakaway speed. And then when he breaks it open, it's toast and it's over. And then the other kid on Friday will be getting a bunch of carries is Sean Hayes. Sophomore kid, runs hard, very tough-nosed. So we're excited for those 2 kids to kind of take on that brunt of the load. But we have a kid by the name of Dakota LaSalle playing fullback, and our fullbacks kind of got to be the toughest kids we got. So if you watch any of that stuff, he's the one running through it, blocking, leading in the hole. He does a great job for that. So we're excited. We got 4 junior linemen starting, 1 senior. So we're going to have a young group. We have a junior tight end. So we're excited for the progress and the growth we made up front, and to not get away from what we do, but to maintain that physical mentality.
Well, talk about those guys. I mean, who are going to be your 5 linemen this year?
Okay, we'll have Isaac Duarte start at left tackle. Shane Sargent start at left guard. Isaac Mirabal will be the lone senior. He'll start at center. James Storseth right guard, and Jackson Couch at right tackle. And then we'll have Max Merrill. That'll be our tight end.
Yeah, and I tell you what, there's some size there where you guys certainly had to kind of do without last year in terms of the size, the offensive line, and Max there at the tight end. He's a strong kid. It's probably got to be night and day there.
Yeah, it's huge, and we had a lot of people that saw our scrimmage last week and came up to me and talked to me. They're like, we actually look like we belong on the football field physically.
Yeah.
Size-wise, we match up with everybody else now. The whole year of a weight room program and the weight program that we put in, you can see our kids have changed dramatically physically, and it's going to give us a chance to be able to compete at a high level.
All right. Wide receivers this year, I know you run a bunch of different formations, so we're definitely...
Yeah, we get into a bunch of different stuff. We have personnel packages. We got a base package with tight end, fullback. Then we'll go spread and put a bunch of skill kids in. So you'll see Brandon Bedgood. He's about 6'4", 6'5", tall receiver. Julio Mendoza, Tom Turnbull, Cameron Bevan, Will Gill will all get reps at wide receiver and everything we do. And it's all based on personnel, what formation package we're going to get into. And it can change from one play to another. We could be in a base personnel and go spread the very next play.
Yeah, and some of those guys probably get some touches, running the ball at the same.
Yeah, we do. We do a bunch of fly motions, different motions, and kind of window dress things. So you'll see Julio get carries, you'll see Turnbull get carries with the fly sweeps and jet motions or a sky motion that we got. So we're excited for the kind of skill kids we have. We're still very young; they're all juniors with a handful of seniors that'll play. But it's exciting to see the progress what we've done offensively. Yeah. And not lose our mentality of being physical up front and run the ball first.
And you can list, and I think the other thing, you list all those names, and all those kids played significant time last year. And most of those kids, they went into game 1 last year, and that was their first varsity game.
That was their first time to ever be under the lights last August against Valencia. So they got 10 games under their belt, and we told them whatever happened last year, it doesn't really matter to us. What the progress of what we've done in the offseason was going to dictate us winning games on Friday.
We mentioned J.P. Madden on the defensive line, on the defensive side, who's going to be joining him. And what kind of defense are you guys running this year, the 50 again?
No, we're running 4-2-5. We're going to get skill kids on the field. We'll roll inside on our defensive tackles. Tyler Tidwell will get the majority of snaps at right tackle, defensive tackle. We have role guys at defensive end, Tyler Ellswick, Brandon Bedgood, a transfer kid we got named Louis Giroux. Inside we'll have Max Merrill, Jack Mira, Joseph Hurston, and Jalen Howard playing inside linebacker for us. And then our outside linebackers will be Mark Prather, Dakota LaSalle. We'll play that position. Then we can roll guys around. Braden can go play that position on defense if we need to. And at safety, we're going to have Reese Cady. And all those guys played last year. They're all starters returning. I don't think we graduated a senior that started last year on defensive line or anybody.
Yeah. Where do you feel like you guys are I mean, is it speed? Is it size? I mean, where do you feel like you're most comfortable at in terms of where the defense is sitting going into the season?
We're comfortable because we can match up in the box now. We can keep 6 in the box, stop the run, and we can match up physically with people. And then we have speed on the outside with 5 defensive backs basically to be able to defend all the spread stuff we get. And so last week we went to a real basic of what we're going to do coverage-wise, and then it's going to get change it a lot for this week against Valencia, who's a spread team.
Yeah. Special teams, well, obviously we know Brett Money's going to be your kicker this year, and I know you guys are hoping to get him some more opportunities this year as well.
Hopefully he's not punting as much.
Yeah, that would be certainly for him, but obviously when you have somebody of his talent, it gives you a few more options in terms of if you get into scoring territory, it's not touchdown or bust for you guys.
Yeah, we get, and then his fact and the fact that he's been in our weight program all spring and summer, we get inside the 40, we feel like we have a legit shot no matter where we're at to turn it over to Brett and make him go make a kick for us no matter the situation. And we have all the confidence in that kid, and he's been doing it for so dadgum long now that it's almost second nature to him. So his leg and his strength, you can see his growth. He's a lot bigger now. He's a lot stronger. I think he squatted 300 pounds at Night of Champions. So his range is now backed up a little bit. So it makes it easier as a play caller knowing that you've got 3 points on the board with him and have all that faith in that kid.
Yeah, and should be noted as well. I mean, he had to work really hard to come back from a knee injury that he had during basketball season. So he's definitely got a big knee brace. Saw him out there during soccer last night.
Yeah, he doesn't wear that for football. No. Don't impact the kicking, but he comes out to football practice every day for about 30 minutes, does all his kicking routine, and then he goes to soccer practice immediately after that, every single day.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of hard work for him. But he plays basketball in the fall or in the winter, and then he goes plays baseball in the spring. So I mean, he's a
4-sport kid, man. He's something special, and not just him. All the kids we got in our athletic program, in our football class, and freshmen all the way up are multi-athletes, yep. and that's what we preach is to compete year round in whatever we're doing.
Yeah, you got Max who wrestles. You got Julio's out there playing baseball. You can go on and on. All those kids. And returning kickoffs, punts. I mean, who are you looking to be your returners this year? Or do you not know quite yet?
No, I mean we'll put Julio back there to go catch punts. We'll put all our speed guys back on kickoff returns and try to get creative in ways to get us good field position from the start. When we're on kickoff, it's pretty easy. Money kick it in the end zone. Okay, they can start on the 20.
That's a nice thing to have.
And that happened in the scrimmage. We were doing our live quarter scrimmage against Hatch and Gadsden, and I said, well, you guys want to start on 30, 40? And they said, well, if you're kicking to us, actually, it'd be a touchback, so we'll just start on the 20.
They knew.
They know.
That's nice to have that reputation for sure, to know that.
It is. You don't have to do a whole lot of kickoffs. Money, just kick it that way.
And I'll tell you what, I mean, in high school football, some of the scarier things out there are kickoffs because – I think it's probably the discipline part of it. I mean, more than anything else on special teams, discipline is
staying in lanes, not chasing, not following guys. And you can see a lot of big plays happen. You don't see it as much in the pros, but you'll see a lot of kick returns, punt returns in high school football, especially because you have 16-year-old kids, 17-year-old kids running down there recovering kicks, and they want to make a play. Well, now they get out of their lane, which causes a big problem. Yeah. So it does help tremendously to have a good kid like Brett on our side.
How much have you been able to scout Valencia, new head coach for them this year? How much do you know about them going into?
Yeah, we got their scrimmage film, and that's about it. He's from Miamur. He's a good guy. Been doing it a long time. He did a lot of good things at Miamur, which is a tough place to play football. It's up in basketball country, and he had a lot of good success there. They ended up knocking off Goddard about 2 years ago in the playoffs in the first round, which was a huge upset. So I'm confident in what he's going to do at Valencia, and he's going to be able to turn that program around and get it back to what he did at Miamur. So they're all spread. They're a 4-2-5 type defense. They have a hang player that we'll have to kind of adjust and make calls on the fly as we go. But it's all spread, fun and gun. They like to throw the football all over the yard. So hopefully it doesn't take 4 hours to play this game because we'll be getting home at 4 in the morning.
Yeah, it would definitely be a late one. And certainly a big change from what we saw from them last year with Coach Justice. They were running basically almost like a wing tee sometimes.
Yeah, it was an unbalanced line, smash mouth, line up and just physically get after you. They've got more kids out there now. I think they had close to 40 dressed out for the scrimmage, which was huge.
Yeah.
Huge numbers for them. So we're excited. It's going to be something that when we play Los Lunas next week, we're going to have to see the spread again. And Ruidoso, I mean, it's kind of Goddard and Rawls are kind of the anomalies of who we get to see that ain't going to run the true spread.
Yeah, and sometimes Artesia, I mean, they run so many different formations that it's like, I mean, I know they like to run the spread, but they really put everything out there. By the way, Wesley Shank, I couldn't think of his name all of a sudden. Wesley Shank is the new head coach there at Valencia. So, well, when you sit down and look at expectations for this group, are you guys just trying to keep it real minimal and just one game at a time sort of thing for you? Or do you feel like there's big jumps that you guys are going to make this season?
Yeah, our motto is expect to win, and that's our motto, and it's completely different than what we did last year and what we're trying to preach to our kids. So we do take one game at a time. It's very cliche. We don't focus on anything. Our kids don't hear anything about the next week opponent in Los Lunas. They'll get that on Monday morning. But as coaches, we kind of start working ahead and start getting ahead of ourselves in certain things we do in game plan and preparation. But we're focused on Friday. We're excited to get back out there, put on some pads, hit somebody with a different color helmet, and show this community the growth we've made in just 12 months from where we were at this point last year. And our kids have been kind of chomping at the bit for it.
Yep, and to get that win and bring that home and be looking for a winning streak headed into that Los Lunas game next Friday.
It'll be a huge deal. As coaches, we kind of understand the importance of the first game, and our kids understand it to go get a W and get this thing going in the right direction, get the community to fully support this thing and see it all the way through.
All right. Well, Coach, good luck to everybody on Friday night, and appreciate your time.
I appreciate it, man. Thanks, Charles.
All right, it's Coach A.J. Cisco. We'll take a break and come back. More of the Roundup for you right after this.
There are no roadblocks scheduled today on either Highway 70 or 54 South. For the latest roadblock information, call 575-678-1178. Tonight's forecast is calling for partly cloudy skies, 20% chance of rain in Alamogordo. Expect an overnight low of 70, Cloudcroft a low of 55. Tomorrow we're looking at mostly sunny skies, mostly cloudy tomorrow night, 20% chance of rain in Alamogordo tomorrow, high of 92, low of 70, Cloudcroft tomorrow, high of 74, overnight low of 54.
When you hear the term Outfitters of Champions, you know it's the Winner's Circle. They can do all your custom silk screen and embroidery on hats, shirts, and jackets. Whether it's for your business, team sales, special events, or personal use. The Winner's Circle is the place for quality work at reasonable prices with group and team discounts available. They also customize trophies, personalized plaques, and sporting gear. The Winner's Circle, 1201 10th Street, or give them a call at 437-9373.
Now you have a choice when it comes to keeping massive files of your bank statements every month. With an online e-statement, you'll have an accurate, easy-to-read electronic statement you can access anywhere, anytime. Get more control over your cash flow and no more giant filing cabinets. Our e-statements get an A+. First National Bank, member FDIC. When you grow, we grow.
What makes Vision Ford Lincoln Hyundai unique? At Vision Ford, we're all about you, your vision, your style, your needs, and your story. Vision is fully stocked with dozens of the hottest 2018 models, including the Ford F-Series, America's #1 selling truck for 40 years. With financing options that fit every budget and a sales team dedicated to you, Vision Ford Lincoln Hyundai continues the Yes We Can tradition. All we need is you. Visit us today at 1500 South White Sands Boulevard or 24/7 online at visionfordlincoln.com.
I had this illness that really made me powerless over alcohol and that insisted that I got drunk. And so I got drunk. It doesn't have anything to do with trying to control it. An alcoholic who picks up the first drink will pick up the second drink. I can't say to anyone, no, don't drink. But I can say that when you decide you don't want to drink, come to AA. The door to AA is always open. Alcoholics Anonymous. It works. Look us up.
For the local AA hotline, call 430-9502. That's 430-9502.
Selfless service is the guiding principle that drives Army National Guard soldiers to be always ready whenever disaster strikes. Every Army National Guard member serves not only to protect the nation, but also their local communities, so they each have a stake in the security and well-being of the neighborhoods where they live and work. They are your next-door neighbors and your colleagues in schools, offices, and factories. Since the early days of our republic, the Army National Guard has continued its timeless commitment to guarantee peace and security for all Americans, a proud legacy which has endured for nearly 4 centuries. To be a Guard soldier is to stand ready to serve at all times for family, for community, and for country. Selfless service, it's what inspires the men and women of the Army National Guard to be part of something greater than themselves. To learn more, log on to NationalGuard.com or contact an Army National Guard recruiter in your area. Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard, aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
For most of us, the holiday season is a time filled with festivity, family, and food. But for the more than 800 million people in the world that go to bed hungry every night, this time of year isn't filled with the joy and peace that it should be. With your help, Heifer International can change that. Let's work to put heifer in the holidays for families all over the world through gifts of livestock and training. Want to help spread the cheer? Visit heifer.org and learn how you can help families move beyond hunger and into hope.
I'm Ed Harrell, and this is The Kindness Revolution. One of my favorite philosophies goes like this: yard by yard, life is hard. Inch by inch, life's a cinch. I really like that. For many of us, life can appear to be hard. We get up in the morning overwhelmed with the difficulties we're facing. For some, it's relationships. For others, financial issues. Some are dealing with health challenges. Others, job issues. For most of us, however, if we break our issues down to bite-sized pieces, they don't look so large, so looming. The vast majority of our problems look less daunting when we begin to realize that they don't overwhelm us when we look at them in light of what we can do right now to deal with them. Taking regular, daily, small steps to deal with our problems leads us towards our ultimate goals. Remember, yard by yard, life is hard. Inch by inch, life's a cinch. To learn more, check us out at thekindnessrevolution.net.
The KNMZ Football Roundtable is back for its 31st season. 5 local business people and their best football prognostications every Friday at 11 a.m. on ESPN Alamogordo. Manny Gonzalez from Charles Garland and Harris Agency. Donna Columbus of First National Bank. Brayden Burling from Desert Sun Auto Group. Timothy Brock of Christ Community Church. And Jake Roberts of Caldwell Banker Sudderth Nelson. The KNMZ Football Roundtable, Fridays at 11 a.m. on Southern New Mexico sports leader, ESPN Alamogordo 103.7.
Listening to ESPN Alamogordo 103.7. Yeah, today's the 22nd, not the 23rd. The scrimmages for C team and 8th grader tomorrow. I don't know where I was. It's already been one of those weeks, man. I can't even begin to tell you. So, do want to mention as well, tomorrow we'll have Alamogordo Cross Country on the show. I think I'd mentioned last week it was going to be today. They couldn't make it into the station yesterday. Partially, a lot of the girls cross country players are soccer players, so they were in Hobbs yesterday. So we'll chat with them coming up today and air that interview tomorrow. So if you were wondering where that was, Thursday. All right, so we got that for you guys then. And anything else worth mentioning? I don't think so. If you missed any of the AJ Cisco interview, coach's interview, we'll have the full show posted up on the YouTube channel. If you're listening to us live right now, you can actually rewind it from at least what it tells me. I haven't personally tried because I'm a little busy while it's live on the air, so I actually don't think I'll have a chance to actually try it while I'm talking to you guys, so I guess I could on my app on my phone. But so one great thing about YouTube, it's pretty much accessible anywhere on your phone, your laptop, your computer, your desktop at home. Heck, if you've got an Apple TV or you've got a PlayStation or a DVD player, you can put it on your television and tune into the games that way. I mean, as long as you have internet access, there's so many ways to be able to stream what we're doing for, our Tiger football games, later Tiger sports games with basketball, softball, baseball, maybe some other stuff in there as well. Also, the Roundup, when we start the KNMZ Football Roundtable on Friday. Athlete of the Week interviews will be posted on there as well, so check for those. We'll have our first Athlete of the Week this Friday. So, yeah, it's good stuff, man. We're excited for all that we've got here to begin the season, and we'll see what we've got for you on Friday for Tiger football. And tune in at 6:45, 7 o'clock kickoff, live here on 103.7 and the ESPN Alamogordo YouTube channel. Lots of ways to listen. And, of course, if you can't be listening to the game, I'll be posting updates on the ESPN Alamogordo Facebook page, also on Twitter, at Charles Winicky. You can follow me there. And I guess those would be the only two places other than that. So doing my best to try to keep you up to speed. I'll mention, though, if you're looking for essentially play-by-play stuff on Facebook and Twitter, that's not going to happen because I'm doing actual play-by-play on the radio. I've had some people get mad at me. Why aren't you updating the game more? It's hard for me to talk and type on my phone at the same time. I am not that talented. There are some people that can carry on a conversation and be doing something on their phone. I am not that guy. Usually you can tell when I pause and I'm talking on the radio, somebody's probably texted me. Usually it's Sarah who's got some kind of issue with something that I said and I get a text. It used to be a few other people that were in there. Used to be less when he was still here. So I mean, it's just, yeah. There's always somebody trying to distract me. Doesn't take much. Not at all. A lot coming up for you guys with Aggies this weekend, too, as they take on Wyoming. Congrats to our winners on our Facebook giveaway yesterday. We're going to have giveaways on each home game of the year. There's only 5 home games for the Aggies this year. First year as an independent. But we've got New Mexico coming up here in a couple weeks, and then I think there's 2 home games in October and 1 in November for NMSU this year. And we'll have Aggies men's basketball tickets for you guys, too. So like our Facebook page, great way to win there. We're going to have WWE tickets coming up next month as well. For those of you maybe want to check out the WWE in Las Cruces. Those have been very popular here on the station and on our Facebook page. And I'll say again, I mean, I know there's a lot of people, they kind of scoff at professional wrestling. And I'll admit, I'm a bit of a fanboy. I still love it. I love the business aspect of it and the performances that the men and women put in, and the stories are always kind of fun. But if you've ever been to a WWE house show, something you should do at least once is what I would say. And we can make that happen for you. So we'll have some tickets to give away next month and lots of other fun reasons to make sure you're tuned in here to ESPN Alamogordo. Get you all hooked up. Aggies football, NFL starts here in a couple weeks. Just heard the promo. Still got Diamondbacks baseball, other college football, ESPN. We get some great games from Compass Media Networks as well. So there's a lot of good stuff for you guys coming up here on the station. I was getting into a story about Tiger Woods, y'all, and was talking to the press and basically felt like last year at the Masters, and this was coming off Nick Faldo, who gave an interview to Dan Patrick, said that Masters, that he said he was done. He wouldn't play golf again. And Woods said, at that time I was done. I didn't know I was going to do going to be doing. I had no golf in my future at that time. I couldn't walk. I couldn't sit. And regardless of what Tiger does from this point, the fact that he's had the kind of season that he has had, maybe he doesn't win another major. Maybe he doesn't win again. I don't know. It feels very unlikely at this point that he won't win at some point. Maybe not this year, maybe next year. And when you're talking a year ago or 18 months ago, I couldn't walk, I couldn't sit. People who have had significant back troubles, I'm sure can relate. And the idea for people who've had significant back problems and had back surgery, the idea to go out there and be a professional athlete and swing a golf club again has got to feel just like insanity. So I know a lot of people, and I probably get sucked into the vortex that is Tiger Tracker people, the Golf Channel Tiger Tracker guy. He follows Tiger throughout the course, and people are so disappointed when he can't, make a big shot or finish it off and get a win somewhere. And there's so much perspective, I feel like, that needs to be placed on this Tiger Woods comeback. Because he looks like himself again. No time in the last, 5 years, since 2013 was the last time he played a full PGA Tour schedule. No time in that run has he ever looked like himself. And now he does. It's fun. At the end of the day, just enjoy it. Because I don't think anybody can guarantee that this is going to last through next year or the year after that. You just kind of hope it does, I think, more than anything. At least from my perspective. So, let's see. Any other big headline I want to make sure I get to today? By the way, that photo of Baker Mayfield posing in front of the Bentley. That guy's got a level of swagger that I'm not sure I can even wrap my head around. He may end up being, I mean, listen, Johnny Manziel had a lot of swagger too, but it feels like he's a little bit different, that being Baker Mayfield. But you know what? He hasn't played an NFL game yet, so who knows? All right, we're out of time. I was going to try to get to a couple other things, but you know what? I don't have the time. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Again, if you missed Coach A.J. Cisco's interview, it'll be available on the ESPN Alamogordo YouTube channel, and I'll post the direct link to it up on our Facebook page so you can get to it easily. So we'll have a little snippet of that in our pregame as well coming up on Friday. So lots of ways to listen. You guys have a great rest of your day. Alamogordo Cross Country on the show tomorrow.
Hey, this is Stu Gotch. You're listening to ESPN Alamogordo, 103.7 Southern New Mexico sports leader, KNMZ Alamogordo.
I'm Doug Brown. The wait goes on for the